We are all interested in the future, for that is where you and I are going to spend the rest of our lives. And remember, my friend, future events such as these will affect you in the future. You are interested in the unknown, the mysterious, the unexplainable. That is why you are here. And now, for the first time, we are bringing to you
FuzzJockRadio.
Yeah. Whoa, yeah. Okay, yes. We are back. We are back. This is FuzzJock Radio, episode number 53 or 52.
51.
It's 53? Okay, cool. Episode number 53, season 3, episode 19.
52.
50. Oh, Jesus Christ, guys. We're starting out like this right away, huh?
Here we go.
Right away.
That's how we do.
It's the way we do it. And you guys forgot to remind me that I'm not in shape. I started dancing to our intro that was made by our DJ Johnson.
Mashko.
Mashko. And I ran out of breath. So we are going to start this episode
I got a question.
like this. Yes.
Here's my question.
What's up?
What's the haps?
Hey, what's the haps? That's a good question. What's the haps?
That's what I want to know.
You want to know that? Well, the haps with me is that I currently am hosting a podcast on an internet radio station called Fuzz Talk Radio. The podcast name is FuzzJock Radio. You're currently listening to it. You might be currently in the present or in the past, but you're not in the future. And I have 3 other hosts with me. One of them is living currently in Mankato, Minnesota. His name is
Damon. No.
And then we also have a host out in California. His name is
Laramie.
And we also have another host, a special host, if you will, a ghost with the most, a hest with the
Shost.
a shost with the post. Our
This is Andy in Andover.
data analyst Andy in Andover.
Andy in Andover.
Andy in Andover, our data analyst. How's it going, guys? You all answer this question at the exact same time. How are you guys?
Well,
Nailed it.
That was perfect.
I'm all right.
Oh,
Fuck.
oh Jamez, I'm glad you're all right. And what's the haps? How? Hey, boy. Hey, boy. Show how you doing? What's the haps? We have our longtime sports numbers analyst, Andy from Andover here. Oh, I already went to that part of the notes. I need to bring the notes down here a little bit and bring you guys over here. There we go. Okay. We had a big week since last time.
Super big week.
I promise.
So big.
I promise we'll get to all the stuff and things. But
Maybe.
in general here, C-dubs, I don't even know how to ask this question. I want to ask, how was your week? But it's such a fucking loaded question again. You know,
pretty loaded.
That's why you say, what's the haps?
What's the haps? Hey, C-dubs, what's the haps?
The haps are happening, man. That's for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I got
I
for
don't
you.
even know what to say. Master Splinter.
What's the haps?
What's the haps?
I want to say chaps.
Chaps? Chaps are the
That's cool.
haps. Do you think chaps are coming
done.
back in style?
I hope not.
I don't think they ever left.
You don't think they left?
I mean, they're workwear. They serve a purpose. So whether they're in style or not, they're not going anywhere.
True, because you could, if you're the company that you're working for, allows you to tells you that you have to get chaps too. You could, probably put them against your taxes,
Or
and save some
even
money
if they
that way.
don't, if you got a uniform allowance,
Yeah.
Let's get some chaps.
Either way, get some chaps, even if you
Chaps
don't
and hats.
have a uniform allowance. You're saying too, I think, right? Just get some.
yeah,
Okay.
you got to have a use for them.
You do have to have a use for them. Just like any tool, like I was thinking this the other day, if you're going to get a tool, you probably should get a tool that you're going to actually use. Why waste money on a tool that you're not going to actually use,
These guys go out and buy tools nowadays.
Yeah. A bunch of tools too.
These guys.
And it's like,
True.
Not even nowadays. I always have.
yeah,
But
always have.
they just go get tools and then try to find a job for the tool.
And then sometimes they can't find a job for the tool, and then they make jobs for that tool. And then other people are like, that job didn't really need to be done. Kind of like how the Vikings.
I don't think you had the right tool for that job.
That happens a lot too. Yeah.
You see, I'm more the guy that's like, I got to go buy like my fourth screwdriver because I can't find them.
Here's
And then
what
I
say.
have 4 flatheads and not a Phillips.
Oh boy,
Or
that's a lot
something.
of tools.
Yeah.
That's a real problem.
Mm-hmm.
You can rent them from Home Depot. You don't even need to buy tools.
That's true. That's very true.
News. Breaking news.
Breaking news: the Vikings didn't play on Sunday. Did you guys know that?
Oh.
I was looking for the scores, and I couldn't find any scores. I'm just like, what the fuck? So,
Did they play Saturday though?
no Vikings. They did not play on Saturday either. Breaking news.
What?
Or Friday. I don't know what happened, but
Where'd they go?
I think their season's done. Actually, I think that's what
Must have
happened.
cleaned out their lockers.
Oh.
Okay.
So we had the NFL.
I'm glad they're not like lost somewhere. That'd be bad.
The way they played this season.
They might be.
God, shit. Darn it. I know I have it. Hold on, guys. Where is it? It's not this one. Nope, it's not that one. Is it this one?
Maybe.
Yeah. So the Ravens played the Titans. They won 20-13. The Browns beat the Steelers 48-37.
And what might be my favorite football game ever?
Holy fuck, that was an awesome game. Do you want to
Everyone
talk
loved
about it
that
right
game.
away? Yeah, let's talk about that game because that's the game that everybody loved, right?
Everyone loved that game.
Everybody loved that game. Splinter, did you love that
I
game?
was a Browns fan.
People like a lot of points.
A lot of points.
Yeah, I like it.
First snap, flew right over the quarterback's head and went into the end zone and became a touchdown for the Cleveland Browns. So that was a good way to start the game.
You know what I liked about that game the most is that they were ahead a lot by halftime, and then that analysis, Chris Collinsworth or whatever his name is, he's like, can't count the Steelers out. The Steelers gonna come back and win, and they didn't. Ben Roethlisberger's
They could have. Sure.
Ben Roethlisberger's was crying at the end of the game, and it was fun to watch him cry on the field. I think he has one more year left on his contract, so it'll be interesting to see what they do next year with that Ben. But the Browns won, even though that they had tons of fucking COVID people out too. Their head coach was out for COVID, so that that homophobic Pfeiffer was their head coach there because they picked them up from the Vikings. Prefer, that's his name.
Prefer.
Yeah, I remember he said some really bad stuff about people in the LGBTQ. Like he said that people should go on all on an island and stuff.
Some bad things about islands too.
Yeah. He wanted to blow islands up, and it wasn't cool with people on it, and it was not cool. Like, yeah, so he was a head coach, and they still had, like, same as last week, they had like 3 or 4 wide receivers out, and they were still out from their COVIDs, and they won. So
Yeah.
Came through.
yeah, good on the Browns.
Yes.
Go.
They
Lot of
never
happy
win.
They'll never
They
make
never
it,
win.
but I wish they could.
Just like the next team, the Bills
We'll
versus
see.
the Colts, and the Bills, our friend Collins' team, won 27-24. So they're moving on. So it's going to be the Browns versus the Bills, in the next set of playoffs next week, and then
No, it's the Ravens versus the Bills next week.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm jumping ahead.
Yeah. Browns are
versus
going against the Chiefs.
Oof.
Well,
Yeah.
that
They can
it
do
ends,
it.
It ends
Maybe.
next week.
It'll be all right. They could do it.
So
They
we'll
could.
see. We'll see.
They could do it. I'm rooting for them.
And then
I'm rooting for the Browns.
the Buccaneers beat the Washington football team 31-23. If Washington would have had a name by this game, by the beginning of the playoffs, if they would have picked a name, I heard from our insider source that the script would have been flipped and they would have actually won that game.
Because they would have been called the Walruses.
Yeah, the Walruses. That's how did you know? Oh yeah, it's our inside source. Washington Walruses. If they would have picked that name, they would have won against the Buccaneers.
Mm-hmm.
But they
Alas.
didn't. Is this a updated? What's going on here?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Saints beat the Bears.
And then the
they?
Rams beat the Seahawks 30-20.
Yeah.
And then the Saints beat the Bears 21-9. Poor Bears.
And what was fun about the Saints and Bears game?
What was that? I forget.
Taysom Hill.
It was on
yes.
Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
That's
All thanks
right.
to Taysom Hill.
That is right.
They had a full children-based broadcast on Nickelodeon where even the analysts one of them was from All That.
It looked
and
really
Nate
fun.
Burleson was the football player.
They had slime in the end zone, and SpongeBob was up on the goalpost.
Oh man.
Oh, yucks!
They
Dude,
even
do it again.
slimed the head coach after the game.
Nice. I bet they should do it more.
Well, I don't know if
Right.
I would watch that on mute and listen to music if I was going to watch the game.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find this real quick, but I don't know if you want to watch it on mute because you would miss on the antics that happens in real life. Fuck, I can't find it.
I mean,
real quick.
if you put
Well,
anyone from All That in there, and I know it's gonna be wacky stuff, and
Well,
I'm
it's
in.
yeah, and the modern All That at that too.
Oh,
but,
no, yeah, all of it.
They made plenty of
Who knows?
90s Nick references, and they even talked about going to the bathroom as a player for like 5 minutes.
Number 85 for running out of bounds on his own. One by each team. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 85 for running out of bounds on his own.
Gee, if you didn't hear that, Cordell Patterson on Nickelodeon live TV said, "What the fuck?"
Why do you do
A
that?
bunch of kids that were watching NFL on Nickelodeon heard the word "fuck."
Well, this goes to you got to learn. There's a time and place for it, and one of them is in football.
Yes. In sports, you can swear all you want if you're losing.
And no one will hear you scream.
So yeah, if you watch that game without the commentary on, you would have missed that. I luckily heard it and it made me laugh a lot. I loved it.
You're still laughing.
Yeah, I totally am. Then
Now I'm laughing.
Philadelphia's parting ways with Doug Peterson. Want to mention that? What's
Who's
up
that?
with that?
Yeah,
Quarterback?
the Eagles are firing their head coach
What?
after the debacle of this season was for them.
What happened to their season? I thought They were doing really good.
No, the Eagles were awful. They were in the division that no one could win a game.
Oh man, what are they?
They used to be
and
good.
then he had a quarterback conundrum, and they didn't like how he handled it. So they're just like, "Fuck this, we're done."
Doug Peterson is 35, 28, and 1 since 2017. Sixth best record in the NFC. He's made the playoffs 3 of the last 4 years. Only the Rams, Seahawks, and Saints have done so in the NFC. Oh, and he won the Super Bowl in 2017. So he's a good coach.
It's almost like you could just like give horrible people really good stats and people think they're good. Reminds me of some cinnamon cereal or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you like that. You like that quarterback.
It's a good cereal.
Have you eaten
I like
any?
cinnamon.
The cousins,
Cinnamony.
the Kirk Cousins cinnamon snaps.
Cinnamon snaps.
I got these guys for New Year's friends gifts. The Kirk Cousins cinnamon snaps.
Oh yes, I saw on the news the other day that they were on like closeout for like 89 cents somewhere.
Oh, nice. Very good. Bill Belichick is being awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom, but is going to decline it because it's being given to him by Trump.
Oh, I thought it was because he doesn't deserve it for any reason.
That too.
I suppose that's a good point. Why is he getting the Medal of Freedom?
Because he won a lot of football games.
Yeah,
But he cheated.
yeah, it's with freedom.
American way, man. It's the American way.
And,
Yuck.
Cool.
Yuck.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just move on from that topic here.
Yeah. He's still Belichicky.
Oh, I gotta close this window of this picture, like this picture that I'm seeing right now, guys. Here, you gotta look at it here. Just look at this. Real quick.
Okay. All right.
Look at this
Window
picture
time.
here.
Window time. Here we go. Look at this window here.
You're gonna be like,
Oh my, that is shocking.
yeah, that's gross, isn't it? Ugh.
Yeah, gross.
Yeah.
Close.
Okay, I'm gonna close that. So moving on. In the Major League Baseball, unfortunately, we have some sad news. The Hall of Fame Los Angeles Dodgers manager Tommy Lasorda passed away at 93. If you remember correctly, around the World Series time, I believe he got pretty sick. And then he felt better.
Like back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, he had a great life. Go ahead.
I remember him from being a little kid. He was great.
Yeah.
Best
Rolaids
manager.
commercials.
Do you remember in 2001 when he was at the All-Star game and he went down and played third base coach and a bat came at him and he went running back and fell flat on his ass?
Oh, no.
Wow, that's
Yep.
fun.
That's what I'm getting from the sports desk here, from the what have you,
That's why we got you.
He once.
the analysis.
That's some good data.
Yeah. He once beat up the Philadelphia Fanatic because he had he was driving around the little, four-wheeler and had a stuffed person that had a Lasorda jersey on it, and he was like doing stuff to it. And so he didn't like that. So he separated the Fanatic and the four-wheeler and then chased him around and beat him with the giant dummy.
Oh,
He was beating the mascot with the dummy of himself.
Nice.
Because he was like, I don't like this. Fuck you.
He was definitely part of the old guard of coaching. He was fiery. He had tons of antics behind his belt. He was.
He did what he
else.
thought was right, not what analytics said.
Yeah, exactly. He was, and he pushed people to their limits and got them where they needed to be, and that's what a good coach does, And so, unfortunately, at least he lived a long life. Unfortunately, he had to pass away at 93, but yeah, definitely.
He has a wonderful sports legacy.
Yep.
In his wake. And
hero.
condolences to his family.
Yeah. He
Right.
still had an office to his final days at Dodger Stadium that he actually used often during the season. He would be there working, trying to help figure out stuff for them. It was kind of crazy to see, man, at that age, still working for the organization and doing stuff,
Wow.
not just like ceremoniously working there.
That's awesome. Working
He'd
until.
always-
And that's the thing, you could tell that he loved baseball, and to him, it wasn't working. It's like people look at that and they're like, wow, he worked until he died, and no, he didn't work. He was doing something that he enjoyed and that he loved, and hopefully we can all find that.
Yeah.
Francisco Lindor was traded from Cleveland to the Mets on Thursday, along with Carlos Carrasco, in exchange for Rosario. What? Okay.
Ahmed Rosario, Andres
on here?
Jimenez,
What's going on
Isaiah
here,
Green,
guys?
and Josh Wolf.
Yeah, what's going on here, guys?
Well, it's a lot of people for one guy.
Oh, this is the Padres again, right?
No.
Because the
No,
Padres
the
are
Mets.
the ones. The Padres are the
Right?
ones that
Mets.
were going are supersizing their team, right?
Yeah,
Am I remembering from last podcast?
that was
Yep.
correct.
If you forgot, audience member, listen to last week's episode. We talked about the Padres,
They're on a rampage.
and now the Mets
Probably want to compete with the Padres.
are looking to do the same, huh?
And they also are taking away a weapon from our division, which is nice to see.
That's cool.
Yes.
So I'm happy about this.
Yeah, that's why it's news to us. 'Cause
Okay.
But
Specifically.
Cleveland did get 4 guys, and 4 is more than one.
Four is more than one, and it's more than 3.
And 3 is more than 4.
Well,
24
it
is the
depends
highest
on the
number.
guys.
Well, so that's a lot of people for one person.
Yeah,
Right.
Well,
Maybe
so
one of them will be good.
hopefully.
4
Well,
for 1.
Well,
don't.
Not too
I mean,
good.
Not too good.
Yeah.
They play for the Indians, remember.
Oh yeah.
who will not be that anymore, right?
They're
changing their name.
They will not.
The Cleveland baseball
Speaking
team.
of teams that shall not be named.
Maybe they'll be the Cleveland Walruses.
Should be
Well-
if they know what's right for them.
Yeah, they will. If they know it's right for them.
I really hope so. I really hope so. The Timberwolves have been on a losing streak until last night. They actually won a game finally, which makes them the worst team in the NBA. Behind no. The Washington Wizards are currently the worst team in NBA. And then
It's
the
kind of subjective too, if
Timberwolves-
you think about it.
We're off the schneid.
We're 3-7 and they're at 2-8. Well, so after like tomorrow, leads change, guys, in the NBA a lot, and the the leads and the losers change all the time. There's a lot of games.
And did you ever consider that it's not always about winning and losing? And maybe they're just like really cool guys and they're kind of the best. Anyway.
Sometimes it's the friends you made along the way.
Yeah. Shut up.
That's kind of true.
Right.
Our team have some pretty cool guys on it. We got the
They're
Rubio
so cool.
and we got the Cat. And D'Angelo Russell has been fucking killing it lately with Beasley. And I know for a fact that Russell sounds like he's a really cool guy. I don't know for a fact. It sounds, and I say the word sounds, but I want to hang out with these guys. They sound like they're fun. They're young and they got good ideas, and they just currently aren't winning. They won.
They
last
won
night.
my heart.
They won. There you go. Good way to put it.
In our hearts. So the NBA, they've got all these great players. They're smart. The NBA listened to them about taking care of their health and stuff when it came to all those protocols, right? Right,
No,
Fuzzy?
unfortunately not. I really wish
Oh,
that they would have
fuck.
gone straight into bubble mode again if they were going to play again, because it looks like everybody's getting sick. What was that team just this last week? A team had only 8 players to play.
On the court and the bench.
Yeah, they only played
Yeah.
they only played 8 people.
Well, 8 on the court would be quite an advantage.
Yes, true. But yeah, COVID's hitting. COVID's starting to hit the NBA, and their stuff's starting to be tested.
And so I just have another question, then a follow-up. So if they're having these problems with players getting COVID, they must be restricting people going to games then, right?
No, it's still up to different states and different arenas, just like NFL and other places, other sports. So it seems like they're taking up what the NFL's done. They're like, oh, well, the NFL, we went this route, and the NFL went that route. We're gonna go the NFL's route. When we come back. That's what they decided to do. Yeah, what's that? What's that?
Shh. You gotta keep it down. If we don't talk about the COVID, maybe it will leave us alone.
Oh, you think that's what's going on? This is sickening. It sucks. It sucks. Okay, so New Orleans versus Dallas, Boston and Chicago, and Boston versus Chicago games are postponed. 2 games slated this week have been postponed by the NBA. The Heat and Celtics game was postponed due to health and safety protocols. 4 players tested positive in the latest COVID-19 results since December 30th. COVID-19 outbreaks impacted the NBA, and the NBA updates mental health policies amid ongoing pandemic. And then the Hawks to allow ticketed fans to games starting January 26th. And those are all top news stories on the NBA.com's own website. This is like ESPN. This is the NBA. And
that's what they're putting out there.
It's insane. It's sickening. Yeah. Like, not to unfortunately use those words, but it's absolutely sickening to see, because it's like they know what to do to keep their players and their coaches and staff healthy compared to not healthy, and they're not doing it. They did it last season. I mean, I know that there's a lot more teams and there's a lot more people involved, but like I said at the beginning of this shit before, if you can't do it safely, don't fucking do it.
I mean,
oh, go ahead.
Do we got? Maybe we should look at it from the owner's point of view, because dude, some people want to give him money.
People want to give
what
them
do you
money.
do?
People want to go to the game.
What do you do? Oh, this guy wants to give me money. I got no choice. He wants to give me money. I don't know what to do. They own me now. I got to make this choice to take this money from these customers, because
I don't know. Stand up for what's right and not take that money. I know it's hard to give up money that people want to fucking hand over to you, but what you got to do is be a human being and protect other people if you can.
It's making a lot of assumptions on
I don't
these
know.
people already, I think.
I know. Once again, I don't know. It's their prerogative to make money, I guess, and harm people. And if I'm not going to go to the games, and I don't condone it. And if they can't do it right, or if they can't do it without getting people sick, then don't do it. That's my thinking. But once again, yes, you're correct. I don't have money in the game. I don't have anything in the game. None of this affects me other than more people around me possibly getting sick because they're going to the games, and not people that are close to me, but just people in my stats. More stats, right? More stats.
Just it's
who are we to tell them they can't have people in the building, and the people want to go in the building.
If people want to go in the building, then they should be able to go in the building, right? Because if the right thing is the right thing, then the right thing is the right thing. You can't tell people what the right thing is and what the wrong thing is. We found that out this fucking last week.
Yeah, let's move into that.
The only way we're gonna get through this is everybody does whatever they want.
I guess so, right?
I guess that's what I mean. That's what that's what that side is telling us. You know, that's what the fucking Capitol riots is trying to tell us, that they would rather have force is the rule of law. That what
As
we
long
were
as it's their force.
as long as it's their force. Absolutely. Otherwise, they're going to fucking cry about it. Like you saw that lady cry. And who knows if she was actually maced in the face with shit or what, or if she was putting a sock onion up to her face. Who knows? But she was fucking
Where did
crying.
this come from?
It looks
Why
like
would
she-
anyone even Photoshop this? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Sock onions?
Yeah.
Rubbing onions in your eye?
Rub onions in your eyes so it makes it look like you've been crying, or like it makes it look like you got maced, and then you can blame the fucking the other side. I don't know.
To what end?
And that's the question: to what end is this about? And we've heard a lot has happened and transpired over this last week.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a lot of response to it. I'm pretty sure all of our audience listeners already know what side we would be on. If not, I'll just blatantly tell you that the Trump supporters storming the Capitol was treasonous and was absolutely terroristic against the United States. That's the bottom line. And in our view, it's fucking wrong what they did. Because what they did and what they were doing it for wasn't for a fucking cause. It wasn't for helping others. It was because they were mad that their guy didn't go into office, didn't win the election, that Trump didn't win the election.
That's it.
Their cause is a person. And they'll tell you that there's all this other shit going on and all these conspiracies. And I'm not going to even fucking say the letters that the conspiracies are that they're talking about, because all that shit's stupid. And it's all fucking stupidly tied to fucking a pedophile that wants to ruin people's lives. And that's all it's about. And all these people are fucking blinded to the fact of what's actually going on because they got caught up in Edward Snowden fucking conspiracy theories. And it's fucking stupid. And it pisses me off. And it shouldn't have happened. And now we're here. And some of the shit that they're... Police brutality. Fuck you. The police has been brutalizing them. Fuck you. It's all hypocritical. And I don't know. That's my fucking say on it.
Small amount of police presence they dealt with. They were pretty violent towards, and they still had a pretty minimal amount of police presence come towards them at that too. And they were extremely violent towards them. And they're supposed to be the Blue Lives Matter crowd.
They're beating up their
That's
own.
the worst. Those poor cops got hung out to dry.
Mm-hmm. They were just left to deal with it on their own.
It's sickening. It's gross. And
It's very sickening.
And one of the things that they say is that the other side, the Black Lives Matter and the Antifa, well, those were violent riots. In Minneapolis, they burnt down buildings and shit. They burnt down. Yes, they burnt down buildings. However, have you ever once heard us condone violence? No.
They were gonna kill Congress people.
They were gonna kill. They had zip ties with them, ready to kidnap people. Why would you have zip ties? Like it's all
They're
fucking.
chanting "Hang Mike Pence."
And that's.
They built a gallows.
Yeah,
They
they
built
built the gallows outside the fucking place.
And this is
They were ready.
And this is a good point, guys, that you're bringing up. Whenever this was all violence and anger and being pissed off and wanting to kill people, the shit that happened the protests that happened this last summer weren't about killing people. It was about saying, hey, you guys are brutalizing us.
They're killing us.
They're killing us.
They're killing
Please stop.
Stop killing
Please
people.
stop
Please
killing
stop.
people.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Opposite message.
I don't know.
I know
J-Mez-
that the NBA though has been on front of the right message when it comes to this kind of stuff.
And once again,
they've done it again.
And this is part of the reason why we, didn't bring any of this up until now, is because the NBA the NBA and the WNBA had strong responses against what happened. Just like they had strong responses with the George Floyd killings. And once again, Doc Rivers is at the forefront saying his piece. And once again, before I play the clip, I just want to say I wish they could just play basketball. I wish people could just play fucking sports and not worry about what's going on. Like as in that this shit wasn't happening.
Mm-hmm.
Like COVID wasn't happening. That George Floyd didn't die. That fucking the Capitol didn't get sieged. But here's Doc Rivers. What he had to say here, and some other NBA players as well.
When you saw the protests in the summer, and you saw the riots, or more the police and the National Guard and the Army, and then you see this and you saw nothing. It basically proves the point about a privileged life. In a lot of ways. I'll say it because I don't think a lot of people want to. Could you imagine today if those were all Black people storming the Capitol and what would have happened?
It reminds me of what Dr. Martin Luther King has said, that there is two split different Americas. In one America, you get killed by sleeping in your car, selling cigarettes, or playing in your backyard. And in another America, you get to storm the Capitol and no tear gas, no massive arrests, no, none of that.
Describing those people the same way you describe someone who just stand there and make a chant and say, we want justice, we want peace. Stop using the same word. It's disrespectful, it's ridiculous. And it's shameful, to keep calling them protesters. Not protesters, they're
Question to John. John, go ahead.
Yeah, D'Angelo, I didn't get a chance to ask you this the other night, but you put a tweet out earlier in the week kind of reacting to the Washington, D.C. stuff. And I know that the team has had some discussions about, what you guys saw there. I just wondered if you wanted to share any of your thoughts about what you saw unfold there, what was going through your mind, and what you think about kind of this point in history that we're all in right now.
Yeah. I'm not in any rush right now. I think it's the perfect time to do this. We got John, Dane, Britt, Jace, Chris. I'd like to get you guys' opinion first, and then we can play it that way. Because we obviously know what my opinion is. We know what everybody else around the league's opinion, but we don't get to hear you guys' opinion on that stuff. So I'd love to hear your opinion, and we can play tennis with that.
When I saw it, I think I put something out too, because I saw Cam Reynolds, who used to play here and now plays with the Bucks, kind of put something out about how, it was really interesting that the way that some police kind of reacted to Black Lives Matter protests and things of that nature with real force, and did not seem to provide the same sort of resistance to the white protesters that were rioters that were storming the Capitol there. And there was some hypocrisy there. And to me, I don't know what you guys feel, but I'm trying to put myself in your guys' shoes, and it can only, be heartbreaking to try and, think what you guys are seeing after what you all experienced this summer. And you were on the front lines in Louisville and doing a lot of different things. To me, it's quite frankly, both heartbreaking and just brings a rage about you to see it that way and see people treated differently. That's how I looked at it.
Respect that. How about you, Dane?
Honestly, for me, it's embarrassing as a white person. I think it just shined a really sad light on just a separation in our society based on race. And I'm embarrassed. That's mostly for the country. That's mostly my opinion on it. I'm not an expert on the topic, but that's my main emotion.
Respect that. about you, Britt, OG?
I think it's the end of domestic terrorism is a logical conclusion of the last 5 years. I think that you have a situation here where there's been a lot of baited language, freighted language, the ability of people to indulge in their baser instincts, been encouraged by our leaders. And it's reached this point because there hasn't been enough pushback about it. And I think that this is what it came to. It had to be shoved in people's faces on the biggest forum possible, with the most logical way for this thing to end is with a lot of people trying to overturn a result that had been settled by 60 courts. Election, as with almost every single election that's happened, it's been 60 years since white people voted for a Democratic president to win. The black vote is what denies Republicans office every single time. And so the fact that it didn't happen this time, I think it gave in to their base, and their base turned to violence when they couldn't get it any other way.
Respect that. Got you, Jace?
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what Britt just said. It's kind of, as much as anything, it was alarming that just somebody, I mean, it comes from the highest office, so that probably starts with it, but it's just a bunch of misinformation being spewed, and because it fits kind of the narrative that these people want, they're going to rally behind that, and they just become so charged up that they can do something like go at the nation's capital, and that many people can gather together and be inspired by kind of hate, and then also kind of just false information, and just be mad that something didn't go their way. And then there's somebody saying like this, it didn't go our way because of this and this. And even if that information is based on absolutely nothing, they can rally together and, try to basically overturn something that was decided by the majority of our people, our democracy, and take it down because they didn't like it. And nobody stopped them. And I don't think anybody even would have had that strong of a response to this if it wasn't the end of a 4-year term anyway. And only because that's ending does it feel like people actually want to stand up to it or have the guts, I guess, to do anything about it, even how little that might be. I just think that's alarming. I think that shows where our country is, and it's not a good spot. So that I don't know how it's going to look going forward for everybody, but you can just see it happening again really easily, and that's, I don't know, that's not a good thought.
Chris?
Yeah, so back in college, I studied history and I studied journalism. And I think the biggest thing that I took away, I felt very numb kind of watching everything that was going on personally. I've been just saddened to see, one, that people don't remember history in this country, or the way that we teach history in this country needs to be altered. And two, the way people get their information, as somebody who's studied and worked in journalism for over a decade now, we have to do something about that. And I think this was the culmination of all those efforts in one sad moment happening this week. And I think one of the images that's stuck with me was seeing somebody carry the Confederate flag around outside the nation's capital, and just all that flag has stood for since it came about. And the fact that even back in the Civil War, they fought hard to prevent that specific flag from being flown in that specific building. And here it is in 2021, and somebody's parading around the Capitol with the Confederate flag. I think it was just a sad culmination of 160 years of divide in this country, whether it be along racial lines, economic lines. It was a really, really sad, gut punching kind of moment for me to see personally.
I respect that. Hey, I appreciate y'all discussing that with me, but I'm just gonna keep it short with my opinion on it. Well, for one, I feel like it was we let that happen, as a country, as a higher power or whatever you want to say, we let that happen. It brought eyes to, the balance of the unfairness of, where we're living in this country. It just brought more eyes to it. I will say that with all this going on, it's triggered a lot of attention towards Just this topic in general, and it's allowing us to sit back and think on how we're going to respond to it as a nation, as an individual, as a teacher, anything you do, your voice is going to matter, because a lot of young kids nowadays they probably won't see this. They probably don't understand what's going on, but it is a revolution. It is a change. It is something that, I feel like it only can go up from here, being able to recognize what's right and what's wrong in these situations, and then seeing how people are taking advantage of the wrong thing to do. Like, it's just simple. Like, there's right and there's wrong. Why be wrong when everybody's watching? Why say the wrong thing when everybody's listening? And this topic is so touchy. I can go on for hours. I can go on however long about it, but the fact that we're bringing attention, and a lot of people are being educated on this topic that aren't educated. The fact that some of you guys are embarrassed, I think that's the right step, in the right direction, that, keep seeing change and keep, bringing awareness to these topics. So it's not a lot we can do, besides what we can do, and just bringing awareness is all we can do at this point. So I appreciate you guys' opinions, and I appreciate y'all knowledge to it too. Y'all not naive to what's really going on. So I appreciate y'all.
So yeah, sorry about that very long clip, but that was D'Lo from the Timberwolves. When they asked him what his thoughts were on the Capitol riots, he actually turned the question around to the interviewers themselves. That clip and the other clips were from the NBA.com and Timberwolves website. And I thought that was really interesting. It's something different that you never really hear journalists or the interviewers specifically his opinion on things. You always hear other people's opinions on what's going on, and some of these journalists, even though they're not to diminish what they're doing, but even though they're doing all sports stuff has always been like on the precipice of history and the history of racial equality, and I don't know.
It was nice to hear a conversation.
Yeah.
He started a conversation. He
Yeah.
didn't just talk. He started a conversation. That was wonderful. That's
And
a brilliant way to do that.
In the video, you can see him like really listen. He's actually sitting there and listening and hearing what they have to say too, which is really awesome. Because, we got some good people on the Timberwolves team there. Just turn those things into wins. Turn some of that into wins, guys. Yeah, so it's hard to move on. We don't move on. We don't move on from what happened. We keep discussing and talking about things like this and move forward, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Minnesota Lynx signed a new player. They signed Bridget Carleton. I did.
Mm-hmm.
23-year-old, originally selected by Connecticut in the second round, 21st overall of the 2019 WNBA draft. Yeah, tell me a little bit about her, C-Dubs.
Yeah, so she played in the 2020 season and played 22 games, averaged 6.6 points. But the team's pretty excited to have her. They think she has a lot of potential. So I think that she'll probably be someone whose name we'll keep hearing.
Nice. Along with our previous topic too, I don't even know how to talk about real life that's going on. Once again, your vote does matter, and that's the way you're supposed to make change in the United States and that's the way we do make change. Not supposed to, but that's how we do make change, is by voting and spreading your voice via the vote. And the WNBA players helped oust Kelly Loeffler from the Senate by getting out the vote, by letting people know that she's a piece of shit. Even though isn't she one of the WNBA owners?
Yeah,
the
she owns
Atlanta
the Atlanta
Dream.
team.
Yeah, she owns the WNBA's Atlanta team in Atlanta, Georgia, where she was running for Senate. And the WNBA was like, "Fuck her. We know who she is," and got out the vote. And they beat her.
Her own teammate, her own players wore shirts that said "Vote Warnock." I mean, like her own team got the vote out against their owner.
Yep. That's how you do it. You don't go storming a fucking Capitol. Fuck that. So yeah, that's awesome. That's
No
awesome.
purpose.
And right there, that just shows, the power of the vote, right?
Mm-hmm. Don't worry, there's more real life.
Oh yeah, more real life. PGA, they did some stuff. They canceled plans to play the 2022 championship at the Trump golf course.
Yep.
Sweet.
They're taking his toys away.
I heard that he's charging them with breach of contract.
Oh,
trying.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay. That was one of the things I was thinking about. Like, everybody's like, oh, like they're gonna stick with him because they're afraid of him. They're afraid of what he's gonna do. And I'm just like, intimidation's that's not how America works. You don't get things by intimidating people, right? No.
What are people afraid of?
That's my question. What are they even afraid of?
Afraid of looking like him. They're afraid he'll touch them.
They're afraid of losing their followers if he calls them a silly name.
I'm sorry, audience, that we're talking politics when you're supposed to be listening to us. But I was just gonna say, Sarah Huckabee she just was crying on Twitter that she lost like 50,000 followers. Fucking hilarious that she's crying about that. She's just like, oh, big tech is taking away my followers. You know what? I bet most of them are fucking bots anyway, and they're just taking down regular bots. Fuck off with your 50,000 followers. That shit doesn't exist. It's not real. It's not real life. It's the internet. Fuck off. Like, all of them also are talking about, like, oh, they're taking our mouthpiece away. We don't know how to communicate. You're part of the government. You have fucking telephones. You can contact the TV stations. You can go to the press box. You have a press box.
Well, and it's funny too, because the thing they're claiming is, we're being silenced. What is it you're saying that you're being silenced about? Is it racist things? Is it anti-gay things? Is it horrible, awful, anti-human behavior? Yeah, that's what they want to silence. Not that you think taxes should be lower.
Well,
that's not being silenced.
I was just joking. They're taking away my freedom of speech of being able to say horrible stuff. Let's move on. Let's move forward from being babies. Let's not be babies. Let's make better jokes. People realize that, joking about somebody's appearance isn't funny. Well, let's make something else funny.
Yeah. I know all sorts of things we should make funny.
There's new things every day that could be funny.
Like snooker. Snooker.
Hey,
oh no, let's not make fun of this.
That's serious.
I'm sorry, this is serious.
Oh
gosh,
funny name.
You can't get away from.
Back to the other thing.
If you guys don't remember from first season, I think was the last time we talked about James's famous.
You don't badmouth snooker.
What do you call it? Famous? No, your favorite.
Famous.
Your favorite sport, snooker.
Yes.
We used to talk about it all the time, but Trump had the world title. Not that.
Yeah, we're going to talk about
Judd Trump. What happened to Judd Trump, the #1 snooker?
He was gonna keep being number one.
Yeah, the Masters was happening.
The
for snooker, wasn't it? Soon.
Yeah, and he got COVIDed.
Oh.
Yeah.
I hope
so
he's okay.
who knows what Trump is up to, but Trump got the COVID again.
World #1. Trump he's out of the Masters for testing positive for COVID. Fuck. So he won 20 ranking titles. Holy crap.
But what's really cool is Joe Perry's taking over for him.
The Joe Perry?
Yeah, the Joe Perry.
Yep.
So it'll be David Gilbert versus Joe Perry.
This is a great opportunity for Joe Perry.
Oh, what about?
And also, maybe Trump should consider changing his name because I'm pretty sure he got COVID from his last name.
He probably got COVID from his last name.
Yeah, dude.
And then
It
the opponent, Jack Lewinsky, also was withdrawn from the event after returning a positive test and has been replaced by Gary Wilson. So instead of it being Trump versus Lewinsky, it is now Gilbert versus Wilson.
I bet Wilson is chuffed with that.
Man.
They get chuffed so easily, though.
Yeah.
These snooker players and their chuffness.
Okay, back to... Okay, is dark money... Is that... Okay, let's... Before we get into this next thing...
Oh, God.
Let's... Is dark...
It keeps happening.
Is dark money... Yeah, it is, because it's real life. Is dark money... Is that a conspiracy word or is that a real word? Like, what does dark money mean?
It's like
It's a real thing.
Yeah, it's a real thing. It's like how if a business wanted to, if a person who owns a business wanted to give money to Trump, like to do something, they could do it through dark money, through different sources, like trading it through.
It's like
they can only give so much money on their own behalf.
It sounds like laundering.
Things.
I think it's
is it laundering money?
PACs and super PACs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dark web.
So you're saying if a company wants to give a candidate or a government figure or a cause money, they put it through a different source, so then it doesn't look like they're the ones that are actually giving them the money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, real scummy clause.
Okay. So there's this pro-Trump dark money groups organized the rally that led to the deadly Capitol Hill riot. And one of which was chaired by Linda McMahon. America First Policies, which is also a 501 that does not disclose its donors, is chaired by Linda McMahon, a longtime Trump ally and former head of the Small Business Administration. The 2019 filing shows America First Policies ended by raising over $30 million. They were not involved with the planning of the rally itself. So Linda McMahon, that's the same Linda McMahon from WWE?
Yes.
Yeah, Zombie Linda.
Oh.
That's actually her, yes.
So
from the show.
Yeah.
So okay, there's a lot of questions here. Holy fuck. Because didn't Mick Foley like ask to have Trump taken off of the WWE's Hall of Fame this last because of this last week?
Correct.
Well,
they won't.
Well, yeah,
They
that's the
probably
question.
won't.
Like, well, since
No, they won't.
Since McMahon's wife is the donor of what happened this last week, then McMahon's probably like, dude, no, we were on that side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
well, here's
wait a
another
minute.
thing. Too.
Wait a minute. Am I jumping to conclusions here? Am I making like are the McMahons on that side?
Of course they are.
Assumedly.
Yeah. They're friends with Trump, I suppose.
Remember, they worked with them as recent as the big grand opening this summer, the reopening of the country. One of the heads of that were the McMahons. Linda helped plan our big grand COVID reopening of the country.
Holy
just so that's
Yeah,
how
she was
soon
on-
or how recent she's been working with him.
That's right. Fuck the WWE.
So there's none of this like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Those
sure.
those wrestlers that want to be good wrestlers, they should not go there anymore and just go to the other promotion.
Or just become
Quit their
XFLers.
job.
Pro time.
Yeah, play XFL.
Yeah,
Forever.
Well, that's
Never let the
that's
XFL
owned
leave
by-
us again.
That's owned by The Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah. A
So-
defect to the XFL. It's fine.
Yeah.
We love
I
the
saw
XFL.
Is The
The
Rock part
Rock
of
gave
this?
Harvey Wimpleman a car the other day.
Hmm.
Aw, that's nice.
Yeah, it was really sweet.
That's really cool.
Oh boy.
What are you gonna do?
Well, I'm glad
Well,
that
if we
I
don't
didn't
have-
watch the WWE's Raw tonight and see that one of the McMahons came back on Raw or whatever. Fuck that
Well,
shit.
I like how he's a McMahon now. Triple H came back.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
a
yeah.
McMahon.
But
H.
that's because McIntyre has COVID, so he couldn't be in tonight's show. So
course
they
he
had to do
does.
something.
Of course he has COVID. Does everybody
Triple
have
H is
COVID?
always the answer.
Who's in the office? Is Hunter Hermsleyman?
Didn't they bring back
you
Stone
go
Cold
out there.
or Brock? Or
Get your gear.
they brought back Stone Cold or somebody. The Goldberg recently.
Goldberg's coming back soon.
Yeah, he's coming back
Of course
too.
he is.
Oh man, all the
Oh.
they're old. Why?
Well, remember,
why?
wait a minute.
Oh man,
I must remind you, Goldberg was WWE like Universal Champion as early as this point last year, or like this point next month last year.
Yeah.
That was ages ago.
Feels like it.
Okay. So in the good promotion, AEW,
Got a lot coming up for this next week.
they had changes in their COVID matches.
Yes, they did.
Gosh darn it, everybody's.
Thunder Rosa was supposed to battle Britt Baker, I believe, and had to change that to Serena Deeb versus Ty Conti.
Well, that'll be a fun match.
No.
And then Darby Allin and the Brian Cage's combinations coming up. The combinations, is that the right word, Splinter? Combination?
I don't even know what you're trying to say.
Okay. Well,
confrontation?
They're sure. Yeah, that's a good word. Darby Allin and
culmination.
Brian Cage's culmination confrontations is coming up. The FTR is going against Marco Stunt and Jungle Boy for some reason.
It's gonna be hilarious.
That's weird. Miro versus Chucky T, and they're still. Oh, that hasn't happened yet, and that'll be a lot of fun. Hopefully they bring it. Hopefully Chucky comes with a arcade machine to replace that one that he broke for Miro and brings him over to the best
They
friends.
shake hands and then they walk away.
Yeah, and Miro
Walk away.
and Miro's the best friend. The Pac.
He's the new member of the Best Friends.
Pac versus Eddie Kingston will be a lot of fun. Eddie is really starting to allude to being crazy, which is a lot of fun.
Instead of the Bastard, Pac should change his moniker to Dark Money Pac.
Dark Money Pac. Oh, I
Dark
like
Money
it. I like it.
Dark Money Super Pack and start wearing a cape.
Yeah, a cape.
So people
Oh,
have been
boy.
complaining that there's a lot of heels coming around. A lot like because like the Bullet Club's back and they seem to be heelish.
Mm-hmm.
And we got the Inner Circle, and we got Eddie Kingston, and and Pac. He's Pac and the Lucha
Death
Bros.
Triangle.
Yeah, the Death Triangle. They seem scary.
They're kind of heels too.
Brian Cage is a heel. The Taz guys.
The Taz guys, Team Taz, yeah.
So is everybody becoming heels? My question is the Dark Order becoming faces?
Absolutely.
they
Absolutely huge
already
baby
have.
faces who are totally over and don't have to do anything anymore.
Yep.
They did it.
Wow.
By being lovable in a podcast or a video vlog.
Wow.
They fixed something that was going horribly wrong last year.
Mm-hmm.
That's
along
pretty
with
dope.
the help of Brody Lee also too,
Yeah,
of course.
That's pretty dope. You know what else is really dope is that the AEW being around is possibly opening up more possibilities for other promotions and other wrestling avenues to be around. Like they are partnering up with NWA, and they brought a lot of more audience to their Twitch audience. And then, like Splinter, you were telling me that you possibly you seen some local promotion
I
on
spotted local wrestling on television the other day.
on the local
on
television
channel 45.
Yeah,
The
local
UHF station.
Yeah.
It,
Oh, what was that all about?
it
How was
was
that?
pro AWF wrestling. I confirmed that it does exist. They've been around for about a month, and they're on channel 45.
Very
So
cool.
Go out and support them.
Yeah, why not?
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Watch.
They got some storylines going. There were some guys running in. They're trying their best out there.
I'm gonna need to see if
They
I
got
can watch
guys
that.
running in. This is all you need, right?
Did they have
Yep.
Fire Ant?
I didn't see any flash paper or fire ants. No,
Okay.
but give them some time. They'll get the special effects.
Good. That's what I love to hear. I'm glad to hear there's independent local wrestling on television.
Yeah, that's really
Yep.
cool.
Always cool to hear.
So that brings us to some
Dun, dun,
fuzzy
dun.
memory trivia. We're at the end of our show, and we all know that the fuzzy memory trivia is the way we end the show. We ask some questions. Not we, I myself am the host here for fuzzy memory trivia. James likes to try to ask questions, but I tell him no, you can't, buddy. I know you really
Why?
want to because I'm the host and I'm the one that's going to ask the questions here.
You sure?
Yeah. We had a score that we were going to remember to make this actually like a season of fuzzy memory trivia that means something to us, because the joke the first time around in the first season was that I kept on forgetting what the score was, and that was the joke. It was a joke, guys. And then the second season, I actually forgot what the scores were, and then it was really like, since I kept on forgetting, it made it seem like fuzzy memory trivia wasn't really like that big of a deal, and so then I was starting to think, well, maybe we shouldn't do fuzzy memory trivia, and then so we started to try to do the overtime extreme bonanza extravaganza thing, and that did not work at all.
That was way too successful.
Holy cow.
The emails came in and they told us they wanted fuzzy memory trivia back.
Yeah, so then I started doing fuzzy memory trivia again in season 3, and kind of started forgetting again because I wanted it to be a joke, but then I started forgetting that I wanted it to be a joke, and then I remembered that it was going to be a joke, but then I didn't want it to be a joke because I thought that maybe it would take away from fuzzy memory trivia because I want this to be a thing. So then we started over again in the middle of season 3, but I don't know if the middle of season 3 is actually 50 episodes of
1952.
Either way, I remembered the score. And I remember that last week, James was going to get a point if he remembered the score. James, do you remember the score from last week?
Well, 2.
Okay.
Right.
I don't know if that's right or not.
But then
I was just confirming that what he,
Yeah.
like the English there.
Yeah, correct. Yep.
if
right.
I answer
Okay.
if I answer correctly
Affirmative.
and then get a point, I would have said the wrong score.
No. What's the score here? Come on. What's the score?
Oh, I don't have any points.
Nope. 0-2. You're correct. So now you have 1 point. So now it's 1-2. Okay.
Whoa.
Hooray.
Well
And
done.
Splinter is here, and he is going to take all of your points. So ready? Ready, guys? It's going to be a it's going to be a buzz-in. No, it's going to be a buzz-in time this time. Okay, guys?
Buzz.
Hey, I got to ask. the question.
Just prepping. Just prepping.
Who was Steve Young's go-to guy on the 49ers?
Bring
Splinter?
Jerry Rice.
Correct. 1 point for Splinter. Which city is home to the first Canadian MLS team?
Buzz.
Bring
James.
Montreal.
Incorrect. Splinter?
Toronto.
Correct. 2 points for Splinter. When during a baseball game are fans encouraged to stretch?
Buzz.
Buzz.
C-dubs.
7th inning.
Correct. 1 point. Where does Casey's mother want her to attend college in Ice Princess?
Buzz.
Jamez?
Yale.
Incorrect.
Buzz.
C-dubs?
Yukon.
Incorrect. Splinter?
Hogwarts.
Incorrect. Harvard. Who hit a home run in the 1993 World Series to beat the Philadelphia Phillies?
Bring
Splinter?
Carter.
Correct. Joe Carter. Ding, 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 ding.
Wow.
Splinter wins this round. And that was a fuzzy memory trivia. Splinter with 4 points, C-dubs with 1, and Jamez with 0. So that makes it 4-3-2.
1 blast off.
1 blast off. Sweet.
Nailed it.
We're off.
Yeah.
Did it.
It's don't worry.
I just watched Ice Princess the other night. I can't believe I got that wrong.
We are at the end of the episode, so which means that the future is coming. Two things. What brings the future for you, Jamez? How are you?
No.
How was the episode for you? Did you have anything else that you wanted to say, bring up, or talk about?
Yeah.
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 Sweet.
I just wanna remind people that you don't have to immediately label anyone right-leaning as a terrorist, because it's, I don't know. I'm irked when I hear about how delicious magateers are, because it's just like, bruh, you sound like a mega by laughing about all those megateers.
Yeah, I hear that, man. I totally hear that.
And I think some of these people might not be terrorists. Some of them might be brainwashed cult members that are someone's family. A lot of them are white supremacists that need to fucking cease to exist, maybe. But just like, let's, I don't know. I'm pretty much all about like storming the Capitol is not necessarily bad, but like doing it to instill a fascist dictator is bad. And also like,
yeah, oh, absolutely.
I'm not all of a sudden like a big fan of police now. Like most of the police like were on both sides of that whole thing, showing each other badges. There's a police problem and there's a white supremacist problem.
Mm-hmm.
You call it domestic terrorism, and then everyone's just like, okay, let's do counterterrorism, and let's, I don't know. But sometimes it's just like you got a friend that's brainwashed in a cult, and they're not terrorists, man. I don't know.
I absolutely hear that. Yeah.
So that's my message to all y'all.
Good. C-dubs. What do you have? You got anything to say? Any last words? Because no, not your last words, because you'll be back. What's going on? How are you? How are you doing? What's
ready
up?
for this.
We're at the end of the episode. You got anything to say? Anything to get off your chest before we go jaunting off into the future?
Good thing I brought my jaunting boots.
Yeah, I know.
I just want to say I love doing this with you guys, and I'm happy that we have the ability to do this and speak freely about what we want to and how we feel, and that's important. And I like it.
I like
I
that.
love you guys.
Splinter, do you have anything
Yes.
you want to get off your chest? Anything you want to say? What do you got going on tomorrow or the future? What's going on? How are you doing? This is the end of the episode. Did you have a good time? How are you doing?
I had a good time. I've been pretty mad this week over the whole thing, and so this was helpful. It's therapeutic, if you will. So, yeah, we'll have to see how it all goes in the next couple of weeks. I'm optimistic that a lot of people woke up about things, and we'll just have a few crazies out there that'll see a massive police presence, and they'll just stand around like they always do and chant stupid shit.
Yeah.
It'll be the same old folks again, and they'll all be able to find each other a lot easier.
I like that.
How about you,
I
Fuzz?
like that thinking. I said a lot during the episode. I definitely will stand behind what I say. And I also agree with a lot of the things that you guys say as well. Actually, not a lot of the things, everything that you guys say. Because a lot of the things that we do talk about are very in accordance with each other of being, decent people, and my whole take out of this, I like Splinter said too, is like, I really hope that this has woken up people to the problems that America has been facing for a long time. This is absolutely something that didn't just spring up because of this election. There's been a problem with our country, and a lot of people are either 100% just blinded and they don't see it, and hopefully it will come up. Because we do need to usher in a future that is more about love, peace, and harmony. Because as a human race, we will not survive off of violence, war, and famine.